Welcome to the Graveyard Shift. In this episode, we go back to the future, talking about AI advancements and ways the gaming industry can learn to be inventive. Thanks for listening. AI is advancing in ways that are more dangerous. For example...
What do you mean?
We're entering an age where we're not going to be able to we're not going to be able to believe everything we see with our own eyes when it comes to the internet. We used to be able to. We used to be like, well, here is video proof of something. AI is now coming to an age where you can deep fake faces, actions, and, backgrounds, whatever you want to happen. You can deep fake that in a very believable and realistic way. Secondly, music. It's not dangerous necessarily, but it's entertaining to me at least. For example, SpongeBob. SpongeBob is coming out with a lot of bangers. For example, things that are already sung, country songs, old rap songs. The Weeknd. It's just made into the voice of SpongeBob and fits so perfectly. Or Patrick, he hits the low notes, SpongeBob hits the high notes, they do it well together. They do.
I wouldn't even know where to go and look for this.
YouTube. I can send you.
Lord. Do I want to see it though? That's the question. Do I want to see it?
You're gonna be forced to see it eventually because TikTok is just gonna throw it upon you. It's like a specific creator. They make. The creator I'm referencing here, just because I don't want to be weird with his content. His name is Glorb. And he makes good content. I mean, he makes the raps.
SpongeBob is so annoying, though. Like, I just can't see how you could make something that is enjoyable from SpongeBob, because his voice just grates on my nerves. Yeah. I'm sure the younger generation, for some reason, likes really annoying. The more annoying things are, the more they like it. But it's getting off the topic. We're on the AI topic, not.
Well, hold on. Let me tackle that for a second.
Decline.
You're on to something there, because TikTok and all that is only creating brain rot. They can't even look at a video without Rocket League going on in the bottom, or GTA modded race that's going on in the bottom, or fucking Temple Run or whatever, just to keep their fucking brains twisted and going. And it's stupid.
It's the decline of a generation. It just makes no sense. Like, the more stupid things are, the more views they get. And it's like, why does this get so many views? Like, what is it that it brings no value to the human race? I could tell you that. Most of those videos out there, like, if you think about people in the field, if some aliens were to come down, or people, in the future, to look at this generation of garbage that's out there, it's embarrassing. And I think, even in the schools, like, I don't want to say it, but I can't say it.
What?
Kids are becoming. They have to modify how they teach children because they don't learn as well as they used to. That's a nice way to say it.
Well, that seems... I see what you're saying, but that sounds like a conservative way to put it. Meaning, like...
It is.
Because, like, it's more like, I had to learn it this way, kids should learn it this way, too. It's kind of like growing up being like, oh, well, I had to struggle, so why can't they struggle, too? It's like, well, because people adapt, the world adapts, and things can't get better, and things can improve. And because you learned a certain way, it might have worked for your generation, but learning that same way might not work.
It's not about how I learned, it's the content. Like, they've kind of, for lack of a better word, like, I don't want to say that. They've made things easier, I find. And maybe, it's different in other places, but I just feel like they call it like the brain drain or whatever. Isn't that what they're calling it? The brain drain. Basically, we're becoming a dumber society. There's no nice way to say it.
Well, it's true. It's true and it's not. I don't know, but
how is it not?
We're becoming a dumber society in terms of what's socially acceptable and in terms of what was socially expected back then. Technology is advancing in such a way that we're gonna start not being able to need those person-to-person social connections as people would so desperately want. Like, we're gonna be able to get to an age where we're gonna have a lens in our eye that we can see the person standing in front of us, something like that.
Yeah.
Like that'll be something.
Do you think they'll actually do something like that, though?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't think I would modify my body to be able to be more in tuned with.
Well, that's the more intrusive way to do it, but that's before they can find something more acceptable.
Yeah. I think I'd draw the line at body modification for technology, so they can friggin' put ads in front of me at all given moments of the day.
Neuralink, Elon Musk's
Oh yeah.
chip.
Yeah. There's some good uses as well. Like, I did read something about for AI. I don't know if it's good or not. I kind of find it creepy, but maybe being in the situation, I would find it different. Some people have been using AI, like the ChatGPT, in order to cope with death. So they're taking ChatGPT and getting it to react in a way, or use the if they have enough speech patterns or kind of their texting patterns, they can make it so that they can talk to their deceased loved one. And they're saying, pardon?
No, I was just saying, ooh.
Oh, yeah. So I guess for people that are kind of struggling with that, a loss of, like, I just can't decide whether that's a good thing or not, but I guess they're using it as part of their grief process, and then slowly getting, like, maybe if you lost somebody suddenly, then and you weren't ready for it, then you can kind of have this fake relationship with your ChatGPT dad, and then slowly be able to get to the point that you can let him go.
Wow.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, if it works with somebody deep in the process of grieving, as long as it helps, as long as it can still give the healthy way and be like, it can still pull aside itself and remind the user, like, I'm doing this still, but I do want you to know that, this person is truly gone eventually, and like, kind of help them move past wanting to. It has to help them with the process. It can't be like, okay, now
they're here forever. I'm going to pretend they're here. Right. Yeah.
The main use of ChatGPT is now to be the deceased one. That'll make it just unhealthy.
Well, it goes as far as being on VR. Like, they take the image of the deceased person, and the AI image generator mimics the person's appearance, and then you go into AI and you can be with them.
Nice.
Yeah, like, it's I don't know. I think that would be weird. I don't know if it would help or kind of just prolong the pain, or
I feel like personally it would prolong it. Like, let's say a spouse dies suddenly. You don't know how to cope. You don't know what to do. You try ChatGPT. You give it their voice. You give it their speech patterns, the AR, and suddenly that becomes your go-to for that.
for the emotional attachment. Yeah.
Right. It can become parasocial. Is that the right word?
I don't know if that's the word, but I know what you mean.
Like they're falling for something that's not real. It's a character that they're like, I know this person, they're real, I know everything about them, but in reality it's like, well, it's not really what you think it is. It's not fake. It's
but then how do you let that go? Right? Like, if you feel that it fills some kind of void or something that's been left behind from the loss of your spouse or father or mother or even a child, and then you feel that you have a little piece of them still, how then do you turn that off?
I don't know. If you were good with communication, you would just have to be healthy enough to communicate with ChatGPT, because AI is, I mean, can remember anything, right? If you're like, hey, this is the filter I want you to use when I ask you this, I'll call you this name. Yeah, so when I call you this name, when I say this phrase, you're gonna take this filter on, talk like this. It's but you just be able to say, okay, I'm done, or let's move on from this, or because it's not like the AI is gonna fight you on it, right? If you're like, okay, I want to move on, let's do something else. But if you can't, I don't know. That's the unhealthy part, is that it's gonna become a relationship that is fake, and you'll get fake hope and false hope, and you'll become thinking that relationship is real, and it could really fuck you up.
Well, it might not be that you feel that it's real, but maybe by letting that go, that you're letting go of the last part of them. And maybe you would kind of feel like that's a betrayal of, like, how can you let go of the last piece of them that you have, kind of thing.
That could be in itself a betrayal of their loss, using that AI like that, because it's not really them. So it's like the whole God. You can't worship another God. You know what I mean? Because they'll be like, hey, that's not me. It's not the same. So to the person that died, you're talking to this person like it's them. So would that be betrayal?
I guess it can be however you view it, right? I see what you're saying. Like, it's almost like you're cheating on them with a computer program and pretending it's them, but I don't know. I don't think it's healthy. No matter what way you look at it, I don't think it's a healthy means, unless you're working with like a grief kind of specialist in order to work through that. But just sitting at home and doing it yourself, I don't think would be healthy. Maybe if you're using it in a positive way,
right,
to say those things that you needed to say before, and have a grief counselor and kind of get out that last stuff that you need to get out so that you feel some kind of closure. That could be a positive way of using that kind of technology.
Yeah, I think to sum everything up, of I think what we're trying to say. To each their own with grievance. Whatever helps you helps you. As long as it's healthy, you do it in a healthy way. It doesn't affect you or your family, right? Don't resort to drugs. Don't resort to alcohol. Don't resort to violence. You know, resort to any outlet, whether it's gaming, whether it's trying to talk to an AI like it's your wife, like it's your mom, your son, or whether it's fucking pickleball. Whatever it is, you know, to each their own. But just be careful with it. Just, you're hurting, but you don't want to hurt anyone else because you're hurting, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Go ahead.
I wanted to mention, we're actually, because we're on the AI topic, here in our town, they're actually using AI to find wildfires, because the wildfires are so, there's been so many of them this year. It's been very destructive, and we're such a unpopulated area. So it's hard to always spot the fires right away because you know, it's all forest. Like it's everywhere here is forest,
Right.
and they're using AI with cameras in order to detect and prevent wildfires here. They've just started doing it, so I don't know exactly how that. How do they what?
How are they using AI with cameras?
Well, they have cameras that are capable of seeing the wildfire smoke from like up to 20 kilometers away, and they're setting it up at the towers here in our town, Fort St. James, and then is connected to the 5G network, and then using artificial intelligence, the cameras wildfire detection can pinpoint new fires within minutes of it starting. Like it can detect the smoke, and then within minutes they know that there's a new fire.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I just thought I'd add that into, like, it's a kind of a local local AI technology that we've been playing with. So, you know, that might be something that you'll see more widespread in the future. Right now they're kind of doing research with that, with the data that they collect from it as well through the UBC and BC Wildfire Service. And then I guess they're going to see how it goes, because it also, they get data like, you know, they'll see how dry it is, the wind, all the, and then so they can tell the dangers better as well. But yeah, within minutes it can detect the smoke. Like we had a huge fire here the other year, and it's been a couple, like 2 out of the past 4 years we've been, the 1 year we got evacuated, and then this year it was right by our power lines, and there's only one power line to get in here, as well as there's really only one way into town unless you take the back Forest Service roads. So it's a lot more danger caused by wildfires when you only have one escape route.
Damn. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's another example of how AI can also save life, and what they're
Yeah.
trying to do with AI. I mean, obviously it's being implemented in the military, it's being implemented in hospitals, firefighters. I'm sure they're going to start using it with police to help solve cases.
I would imagine. I'm sure they can't say it's like 100% though, like
Right.
because everything has you know, like having the lie detectors, even they have to say, you know, it's 99.9% accurate, so they can't use it in a court of law.
Lie
So
detectors aren't even 99.9% accurate. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to spoil that for you and
I
everybody.
was just saying a number.
Uh,
But I mean, if they have a little bit of inaccuracy.
It's not even a
you
little
could never
bit of
use it.
inaccuracy. It's not even close to accurate. It's not even the reason why it's not even able to be used in a court of law, because it's fake. There's nothing like, it's something that they use. It's like an intimidation factor. It goes off of your heart rate, you know. So like, a reason could be for failing, like, to think you're lying because you're nervous. Your heart rate's going to act the same, so when you tell that answer, it's going to give that spike. That's what commonly happens. That's what always happens. But people always fake it anyway. People's videos, when they're doing the lie detector test, there's already this one main guy that usually does it. And he's kind of like, he came out with it, and he was like, yeah, it's all fake. They pay me. I do this.
Yeah, they'll
tell me beforehand. He came out with it. Even YouTubers were like, came out that was caught with it. They were like, yeah, no, we faked it. So it was a whole thing.
I don't know. Even the police use it, so
well,
it's not fake. But yeah, of course, there's a.
They use it because, I mean, they use it as they would any other intimidation factor to try to get anything out of. Look, if we want to get on a tangent about police.
No, I don't.
I'm already gonna get. I have a whole bunch of feelings about police, but we won't get on that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change it up.
All right.
So already talking about AI, the way that things are getting better. I want to talk about inventive ways that are being made to game. You ever see the game Before Your Eyes?
No.
Before Your Eyes is a game that uses your camera to look at your eyes, and it tracks your eyes. So it shows you a scene, and it's going through a life. So you start out as a kid, the newborn, you see the babies and all that stuff, and your eyes are open. Every time you blink, it goes to the next scene. So the idea is you're living this life, and every time you blink, it goes to the next scene as it would in real life. You blink, and you're already down 20 years. You blink, you're down another 20 years. You blink, a friend died.
Well, it would be a short game.
It's, well, yeah, no, that's the challenge. But you can set it to either use your mouth or to do it with, obviously, like, it's made for your eyes, so you can do it like that. But the idea is it tells a good story, and it gets kind of emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's supposed to hit hard. It's supposed to be like, dang, life really does go fast, you know, and stuff like this happens, and it really does feel like a blink of an eye. And it was one of my favorite games when I played it when it came out. I watched the gameplay of it. I've never played it myself, but yeah, like, that's an inventive way of gaming to me, where they can track your eyes and do stuff like that. Like,
oh my god, the VR things, it tracks your eyes and where you're looking. And you can actually it tracks your eyes, it tracks where you're looking, and then, like, if you look at something, and then you can interact with it, or say if you look at one direction, then you can.
It's when you move your head, though, not your eyes.
No, it tracks your eyes. It tracks your eye movements. The VR.
PSVR 2? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about it got bought out by Facebook, and now it's called.
Was it the Oculus?
Yeah, it was called the Oculus 2, and now it's called something else. I can't remember what the name of it changed to. It was total BS, because, like, we lost all the games that we had bought when it was called Oculus 2.
Right.
But anyhow, yeah, no, it tracks your eyes. For sure. Because you can use it. You can use it to, where you look on the menu, it'll go wherever you're looking.
I guess I've never used the Oculus, but
the Oculus is cool.
I can
cool.
Tell you're a fan of it.
Yeah,
I got that
it's
Oculus
pretty neat.
money.
You can try Oculus money. They're only like $600. They're not that much.
Oh,
That's how much the PlayStation. I bought the PlayStation 2 VR, and we have the Oculus 2.
How's that? Compared to each other, how is it?
A lot of the games are actually exactly the same for both. I would say I haven't played a lot on the Oculus one. I've only really played in the PlayStation VR one, so my kid would be a better ask for that. I played the it's that new, not God of War, but it's kind of like that. Like, it's amazing. Like, compared to the PS1 VR, it was dog water.
No, I agree.
It was so bad, and it was so pixelated, and it was just trash. The PS2 VR is amazing, like so amazing. But I would say that it's very comparable to the Oculus.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of the games are like, you can get the same games on the PlayStation for the VR. Like, the new ones that they're coming out with on the PlayStation are ones that have been out on the Oculus for years already.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like, all they're doing is just remaking them for the PlayStation, but they've already been out for quite a while. Some of them are pretty bad.
Like
but,
what?
Like, which games are bad for the PlayStation?
No, like which
one?
games?
Well,
which games are coming out that are being remade for PSVR 2?
Like, they have that Star Wars one that they came out with. It was one that was already on the Oculus. I'd have to have my list of games. Like, I can't remember all of the
Star Wars, like Rebel Squadron or whatever.
I think that's what it was called. Like, they had it on the Oculus for like quite a long time ago, and now they have it new release on the PlayStation 5. And it's like, that's not a new release, but I guess because they remade it but it still looks like exactly the same graphics. All they did is make it playable on the PlayStation 5. And then there's I'd have to be prepared to talk about that topic, because there's a lot of and then there's games like what was that one? It's like a shooter one where you have to you have to shoot things but I can't think of the name of it, and it's very linear. Like, it's everything, like, the people are just like stick people, and you shoot things, and the game looks terrible, but it's actually a lot of fun. It's like a puzzle kind of thing, and I don't know if that one's out on the PS5 yet.
So, what are some new inventive ways of gaming that you've seen?
I really, everything is, I wouldn't say inventive, but like even just the VRs, obviously I really don't know. I don't know any inventive.
I remember,
I can't think of anything.
In the early days of gaming, something that seemed very cool, something mind-blowing to me, is when they put games on the browsers, and you had to get like Adobe Flash and to play those games. And a game that I would play all the time, even in school, starting from middle school, I think. Happy Wheels.
Oh God, yeah.
You remember Happy Wheels?
Oh yeah.
God, it was such a big game on YouTube.
I still have it. It's on my phone.
It's so fun.
There's Happy Wheels. There's Happy Wheels 2. There's yeah.
Because it was such a community-driven game. It was like games that the community themselves can make maps on, and do a whole bunch of creative shit that would make it look so cool.
Kind of like Roblox.
No, because it was always a 2D side-scroller. So you'd have to make it level into a 2D side-scroller, which doesn't sound difficult, but it's the fact that they gave the base to everybody. They said, make your own game. Do what you want with our platform for free. something that Unity needs to learn.
Yeah. Oh, a game that my kids still play to the day is Little Big Planet 3. Little Big Planet 4 didn't quite have that creativity part in it, but Little Big Planet 3, they liked making all their own things that would, explode the world, and you would collect all. Did you ever play Little Big Planet 3?
Well, not necessarily 3. I've played Little Big Planets, but
they played the game through, but their favorite part was the community part. And so everybody, people would make that Rock'em Sock'em, is that what it's called? Where they have those two little guys that would punch each other. People would make games that you could do all these silly things in, and the kids just loved to explore other people's, world of the, one was a Titanic and one was they were just crazy. And anybody could make these things, and then you go in and you play their games, and then you get to vote on them. And my kids played on there for so much. They would make their own little worlds. That was very creative. I tried that Dreams. Have you ever seen that one?
What's that?
Dreams. It was supposed to be it did not even really go big. I expected more from it, but I think it was supposed to be a very a creative kind of make your own world thing, and that one kind of fell flat, and didn't go anywhere. I thought it would take off because it kind of played it out to be the next big thing, but it was just boring. Same with what was that? Lego Worlds. They could have made it way better. It was Legos, and then you could build houses, and you could build, but they didn't make it so that you could build enough, I think. I don't know how to, they could have done a lot better with it. But Little Big Planet 3, that was the game that brought out my kids' creativity for sure. They loved that. I don't mean the actual gameplay part. I mean the community part. And people are still strong in there. Creating new worlds and sharing them with people. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of fucking Roblox.
Yeah.
Because Roblox is very community driven. There's a game that I tried to get myself into for VR, and it was hard. I really pushed for it, but there's not a lot of people that wanted to play it. It's called Rec Room.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah, it's very fun because, for another community game, you can make a lot of levels. It's VR, open world, do what you want. You can make a whole bunch of shit. You can play games. But
yeah, my kids play Rec Room on VR.
When I was thinking of making a podcast, I originally wanted to make the podcast on Rec Room because they had good Rec Room podcast studios, that looked cool.
Okay.
And so me and you would just be sitting in the chairs, you know what I mean? Our characters would be sitting in the chairs and talking, and that would be the visual of what they'd be seeing. That was the original idea.
Yeah. That'd be neat. You did know they could go in there in VR too, right?
That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was introduced to it as a VR game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was the bar fight one. That one was funny.
That was fun.
Where you throw bottles at everybody.
I like the paintball one.
Yeah, I like the what was it, ping pong or tennis or something? Is it ping pong? Or badminton? I don't know. It was tennis,
the amount of things that you can do on there is the reason why it's impressive. If people built school, an actual school in Rec Room, in a schoolyard, and because it would be a server, and then you'd go in there, and then there'd be 15 other people in there, and they'd be playing in the yard, and then you'd hear a bell that would go off, and people would go to the classroom and chill there. Stuff like that. There would be a KFC that you can go to. There'd be oh, press this and you can be a worker. you know, and then you
Yeah.
can wear the stuff, go back there and
Yeah,
wear
I saw those ones.
it. Stuff
You
like
could
that.
be a
Like, this is
worker.
really cool.
You could be a robber. Or you could be a yeah, go and rob the people.
There's other ones that were like open mic type stuff. Like there would be a stage, and then there would be a whole bunch of people, not a whole bunch, but like 12 people sitting down, and then you'd be up on top, you'd be on the stage, and then you'd have to draw something. It'd be charades. You'd have to get a card and then draw it with a 3D pen what you're trying to draw, and then they would guess it. Stuff like that. It's, I don't know, but it's just the amount of creativity. You could make anything in there. At one point, you could really. I've considered this. In games like that, where you have the freedom to make whatever you want in an open world environment, could you? Well, you could. But who would? 1-to-1 recreate something real. Like recreate a home. Recreate a house. 1-to-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be surreal.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Because you'd be living in your house, in the game, in your house.
With your dead spouse.
With your neglected spouse and kids in the other room. Right now, honey, I'm watching TV in my living room, in my bedroom.
I'm busy with my other family.
Right. My 3D printed family that actually cares about me.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. In Minecraft, they have those little mini games. And have you ever seen have you ever looked at those mini games? Have you played the one where you have to like make the best sculptures in like a certain amount of time? Well, not sculptures, but like little landscapes. My kids are amazing at that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they do little mini games. Oh, there's so many mini games. There's like hide and seek where you get to be a bush and then you gotta hide around the map, and then the other guy's gotta try to find you. And then they have another game where you have to make, a lot of times they'll make like dragons, or they'll make, you know, really cool sculptures with Roblox stuff, and it's actually pretty neat. Yeah, I forgot about that. My kids love that. It's actually interesting to watch what they come up with.
You know, there was even another mode that I played on Rec Room. It was so creative. It was like community involved in a deeper way. It was called the Meme Elevator. You seen that? So essentially, you were in an elevator, and the elevator would go down after you press a button, and then it would open, and then it would be a room that somebody made themselves, a community member made. And it's a meme, a 3D meme that they would make the character of, they would make the props of, they would write, and they would be like, oh, this, they'd give the caption of the meme above, and then they would draw in 3D, like,
that's pretty neat.
the character that's supposed to be in the meme. I know, but then they would put the background music behind it, like the amount of time that went into it, like it was like watching a live Vine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A live TikTok that was right in front of you, and then the elevator door would close, and then you'd go to the next one. You know?
Yeah. When I was explaining the last thing, I did say Minecraft mini games, not Roblox mini games, right?
No, you definitely said Roblox.
Oh, okay. I meant Minecraft mini games. Like, you know, the mini games that they have?
Now I know what
You
you're
must
talking
have
about.
played
Yes.
that. Okay.
No,
Yeah, sorry. I was like, wait a minute. Did I say Roblox? I'm like, yeah, no. Roblox doesn't really interest me. I found it interesting because my kids actually started coding on there. So that was kind of neat. But no, I was talking about the Minecraft mini games where they would create stuff.
You know what here's something that seemed like happened very recently, but that really happened a very long time ago. So you know how Microsoft is with their exclusives, you know, Halo and such.
Yeah.
They won't even let PlayStation touch it. Well, when they finally made the switch and said, fine, PlayStation, you can have Minecraft. They introduced that. Well, yeah, they introduced that in the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So Minecraft was a game before the PlayStation 3 came out. And then the PlayStation 3 came out. PlayStation 4 was in development. Then Minecraft came out. And it came
That's
out for
crazy.
PS3,
It's been out for so long.
Oh yeah, just like GTA 5. GTA 5 came out 10 years ago. This year. It came out 10 years ago.
I think PlayStation has ruined Minecraft. I think it was like the way that they have made the stores and stuff. Like I don't like what they've done with all the coins, or like how you have to buy things on there.
It's not a direct game from PlayStation, so you can't. I don't know. They won't give them everything. You know, you don't want to give them the whole secret formula. You don't want to give them the whole Krabby Patty sauce. You gotta sprinkle it. You gotta be like, okay, we'll give you this game, but we're gonna leave out the key features that we use. We know you know how to use it. We know you can use it, but you're not allowed to legally. We're gonna keep these features.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have to come up with things themselves. It's gonna be a lot of the times not as good, but that was the situation, you know.
Yeah. There are also a lot of games that tried to copy Minecraft that just kind of fell short. I can't think of the names of them right now. They tried to add more.
But fun fact, you ever played Stardew Valley?
No.
It's another block game, but it's kind of like Minecraft, but like in a 2D scrolling way. But anyway, they're obviously aware of each other, and instead of being competition, they actually encourage the other fan base to play the other game. For example, one of the things that pop up is suggesting that you play Stardew Valley. Is like saying that you should play Stardew Valley. Like, oh, you should give Stardew Valley a shot. And then in Stardew Valley, they have the same thing, where they also suggest that, in their own words, hey, you should go give Minecraft a shot. Go play some Minecraft.
Huh.
It's cute.
Little collaboration.
It's how it should work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Bring others up instead of
competing to tear them down, so you can build yourself off of what you tore down from them, instead of saying, hey, you have this pile, I have this pile, let's just stack our fucking pile and get a big pile, instead of being like, I'm just gonna steal from your pile, I'm gonna get most of what you have but not all of it. It's not efficient. It's not even efficient. It's just stupid. It's just
that's the way it is in the gaming industry a lot, though.
That's how it is in business. It's not even gaming industry, just business.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us on the Graveyard Shift, part of the Undead Gaming World. This has been Doza and KillerChick, hopefully giving you some insight into our views and something to think about. We appreciate you being here, and if you want to hear more podcasts, then hop on over to Doza's YouTube channel and make sure to like and share. Until next time, signing off.